feeling of being myself. But not everybody knows their self clearly. In most cases, the feeling of being myself is so thoroughly mixed with the content of experience, that is, our thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, perceptions, activities, and relationships, that our knowledge of ourself is veiled or obscured or only partially known. As a result of this veiling or forgetting of our essential self or nature, the peace and happiness that are inherent in ourself, or rather that is ourself, becomes obscured. And as a result, a great search begins. This search takes us on a journey in which we try to acquire peace and happiness through objective means. Objects, substances, activities, states of mind or relationships. When this search has failed us sufficiently often, we may turn to conventional religious or spiritual paths, seeking the same fulfillment through more refined means. But sooner or later, this search may also fail us. At some point, it becomes clear that the peace and happiness for which we long above all else cannot be derived from objects, substances, activities, states of mind or relationships, however refined they may be. This intuition or understanding may dawn on us spontaneously. It may be precipitated in us as a result of an experience of great suffering or loss, or we may simply reason that lasting peace and happiness can never be the outcome of intermittent, objective experience. As a result of this understanding, either spontaneously or at the suggestion of a book or a friend, we turn around, so to speak, and begin to investigate ourself, the one place that has yet to be explored. This turning around of the mind away from the content of experience in which it previously sought happiness towards its own essential nature is the first step on the direct path and is the essence of self-inquiry. It is also the highest form of meditation or prayer. Self-inquiry, or the investigation into the nature of ourself, is often initiated by a question such as, what is the essential nature of myself? What is it that knows or is aware of my experience? What is the nature of the knowing with which I know my experience? What element of my experience remains consistently present throughout all changing experience? Or simply, who am I really? Such questions lead the mind on an inward-facing path, away from the objects of experience towards the very essence of the mind itself. In this investigation, there is no interest in the content of experience, that is, our thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. The mind is turning itself in the opposite direction, an objectless direction, a directionless direction towards the subject of experience, towards the knower rather than the known. In doing so, the mind travels back through layers of its own experience, discarding anything that is not essential to itself. Thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, perceptions, until only its essential, irreducible essence or nature remains. Knowing, being aware, or awareness itself. That is our essential self, or being. This knowing of our own being shines in each of us as the knowledge I, or I am. However, this simple, familiar and intimate experience of ourself is usually overlooked or ignored in favour of the objective content of experience. And with this overlooking of our essential nature comes the obscuring of its innate peace and happiness. Thus the recognition of our essential self, the knowing of what I am before what I am is coloured or qualified by experience, is the direct path to peace and happiness. In this way, self-inquiry first gives us a taste of the peace and happiness that are our essential nature. And once we have recognized that the peace and happiness for which we long resides in and as our own being, all that remains is to establish ourselves there as that, and allow every aspect of our life to be informed and permeated by it. The more clearly we understand that peace and happiness are the very nature of ourself, the more deeply we are drawn into it, and in time our interest grows into a great love. Self-inquiry turns effortlessly into self-resting, self-abidance, and gradually, in most cases, occasionally, suddenly, its innate peace and happiness begin to infuse our life from the inside.